be picture or image, it may be video, okay, it may be textual data, it may be categorical data. Okay, so there are so many types. We already discussed about the data and pre-processing. So whenever you want to develop any model in machine learning and deep learning, so data is required. It's a primary thing. And before we use this data, we have to prepare this data for the processing. Okay, there are some noisy data available. There are some empty data is also available. There is some unnecessary features available. So why we use this all these things, unnecessary user features and noisy data and empty data? So we just explore about the data and explore about the important features, important information about the data. Okay, and then we have to train that data, okay, to build your model. So there are some methods we already discussed in our previous lectures. One of the other method we discussed here, replacing the empty cell, or you can say noisy data, you can say wrong data with mean, median, or mode. Okay, it's a common way to replace empty cell. If you want to, if you are using some of the data, okay, to train your model, to build your logical model, but there are some empty cells. So how can we replace this empty cell? If you are using same raw data with empty cell, so there might be possible your model is already your model. You can build your model, but your model gives some inaccuracy. In your models gives some accuracy with lower performance. Okay, so we need this empty cells replaced with some values. Okay, so there are some methods: mean, median, and mode, which is calculated the mean and mode, median value of the column. Column you can say attribute or you can say features. Pandas is a library, as we discussed in previous lecture. Pandas is a library which we use for the data manipulation. Okay, so Pandas uses the mean function, median function, mode function to calculate the respective values for a specific column. Okay, so what is actually mean, median, and mode? If you are sorry, if you are from mathematical background, so you already knows about the mean, median, and mode. So mean is actually it's the average of the given number. Mean is the average of a given number and is calculated by dividing the sum of given numbers by the total number of numbers. Okay, so you can say mean is the average of the given number. For example, if you have the array of number like this 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, there are 5 elements, 5 numbers are there. Okay, so what is the mean actually of this array? These numbers you can say 4, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 10. So firstly we add all these numbers: 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10, which is equals to 30. Okay, and how many numbers are there? Total 5 numbers are there. Okay, so now we divide by 5, which means 30 divided by 5, because 30 is the total number count. Okay, because we already added all these number and you will get the result 30, and you have 5 numbers are there, so divided by 5, so you will get the 6. Okay, so it means 6 is the mean of this array. 6 is the mean of these number of numbers, total numbers. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So you can say it's an average of given number. Okay, average of given number. Okay, so if we want to put the mean, so first we have to calculate the average of that particular column like this. Okay, like this. For example, if you have a column, in this column you have the number, some of the numbers like 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. So we firstly calculate the column addition. We have to calculate all numbers which are present in column. Okay, you will get the answer 30 and divided by 5. So it means it is the mean. Mean you will get 6. So you can, if you have this particular column, if you have some of the empty cell in this particular column, so you will replace by this mean. You may say 6, okay, to the empty cell. So this is the way to calculate the mean, and we can replace these empty cell with the mean. Next one is median. In statistics, is the middle value of given list of data when arranged in an order. The arrangement of data or observations can be made either in ascending order or descending order. Like you have three data, three values, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, 2, 3, and 4. So what is the actually mean median of these data? I already said middle value of the given list of data. So middle value is 3 here. Okay, if you are arranging these data in a descending order, so you can say 432. 432. It means in that case also you will get median is 3. Okay, so in mathematics the median is also type of average. You can say it's a type of average. Okay, and which is used to find the center value. Therefore, it is also called measure of center tendency. Okay, so if you want to replace with median, so firstly we identify the median middle value. You can say median of that particular column, because column represent the features, column represent the attribute, you can say, in your data set. So if you have any empty cell in your particular data set in a particular column, you can say features. Okay, so you can replace this empty cell with median. Okay, so this is the way to calculate the median. And mode. Next one is mode. In statistics, the mode is the value that is repeatedly occurring in a given data set. You can say given set. Repeated occurring in a given set. We can also say that the value or number in a data set which has high accuracy, high frequency, sorry, or appears more frequently is called mode or model value. It is the one of the three measures of center tendency apart from mean and median. For example, you can see here the set is having value five values 3, 7, 8, 8, 9. Okay, so 3 is a single element in this set. 7 is also single element in this set, but 8 is here. 8 is repeated two times in this set, and another value is 9, which is also single time here. Okay, only one of the value is here 8, which is repeated two times in the set. So you can say mode of this set is 8. Okay, for example, there are another element like 3. 3 is repeated 3 times in this data set, and 8 is repeated 2 times in this set. So which one considers as a mode? Like 3, 3, 3, 7, 8, 8, 9. So which one is mode of this set? Is this set? 3 will be the mode of this set. Okay, because highest frequency we can consider. Okay, highest frequency. That means appear more frequently. So that is called the mode of the particular set. So these are the center tendency, you can say, in statistics: mean, median, mode. And we can calculate mean, mode, and median. And if you have some empty cells in your data set, so we can replace with this value with empty cell. Okay. In a programming terminology, we already discussed about the mean, median, mode. In mathematical terminology, how can we calculate what is actually mean, what is actually median, and what is actually mode, and how can we calculate in mathematical terminology? But here we are performing some programming. Okay, how can we replace with the in your program with your mean, mode, and median? Okay, so first example is mean. Calculate the mean and replace any empty value with it. Okay, as we discussed, pandas library we use here. Import pandas as PD. Okay, pandas we used for the data manipulation. Okay, df is a data frame. Okay, we can if you want to change the name, so you can change, no issue. We are considering a df only here. Df is equals to pd dot read underscore csv. We use the read underscore CSV along with the PD for reading the dataset. Okay, so your dataset path is in a F directory, PU folder, again machine learning folder, again PTech IML. Okay, unit number 2. Then dataset name is data cleaning.csv. This is the path where your data is placed in your PC. Okay, if you want to place your data set on Google Drive, so you can just use Google Drive link. Okay, no issue. Or you can say give the path the Google Drive if you are performing your program on the Google Colab. Next, x is equals to df. That means x is a new data frame, you can say, where we perform the mean operation on which attribute? Calories attribute. Okay, okay, which calories? Your your data frame having one of the column which are calories. Okay, where are some empty cells? So in that empty cell we perform the mean function. We apply the mean function. Okay, so first we calculate the mean of that particular column, that like calories. So we have to calculate the mean of calories on your data set. Okay, so again you calculated the mean of one of the particular column like calories. Okay, now we get the mean, which is x. Okay, which is x. X is here. X is a variable where we store the mean of that particular column like calories. Okay, again df calories dot fillna, we use here fillna method. Okay, we use here fillna method. Okay, for the replacing the mean in your particular x column. Okay, so x value, sorry, x value in your data frame. So we use df calories dot fillna. Which value we want to replace? X value. X is having mean of that particular column, that like calories. Okay, and one of the parameter in place is equals to true. That means your x value, your mean value, will be replaced in a calories column in your data set with empty cell. Okay, like next print we want to see, so just use here print function here, print tf dot toStrings. Okay, so as you can see in the row 18 and 28, you can see the data set. I already discussed about the data cleaning data set in my previous slide. Okay, previous lectures. So you just explore about the data cleaning data set. Okay, there are four columns. One of the column is calories. There are some empty cells. Like we identify here, we can see in a row 18 and 28, the empty value from calories was replaced with the mean. Okay, 304.68. Okay, calories. We firstly, if we want to replace the mean value with the empty cells in a calories. Okay, so in row number 18 and 28, we replace the 304.68, which is the mean value of particular column like calories, and we replace with empty cell. That's it. Okay. Next one is median. What is median? We discussed how can we calculate and how can we replace the median value with empty cell in your data set. So data set we already discussed. Similarly, we use the data cleaning data set here. So import pandas as PD. As we discussed, pandas we use for the data manipulation. df dot pd dot read underscore csv we use here read underscore csv function to read the data set. Import the data set, you can say. This is the path where your data set placed in your machine. Okay, in a app drive npu folder, you can say directly. Okay, machine learning folder, then we take iml unit number 2, then data cleaning.csv. So x similarly, firstly we calculate the mean of that particular column. Which column? Calories. Calorie is a attribute. Calorie is the features in your data set. Okay, so in a calories we have some empty cell and we want to that empty cell with your calculated median. So firstly we calculated the median of that particular column like calories in your data set, which is stored in the x, you can say. So we write here x is equals to df, column name is calories dot median. Okay, just use the median function here because pandas is already having this function mean, mode and median. Now after calculation of median of that particular feature or column, we put these value in your empty cell in a particular column. Which column? Which attribute? Which feature? Calories. Okay. So df calories dot we use here fill now function. Okay. Fill now function we use for the fill the value in a particular column. Okay. So we want to fill here x having the median value. Okay. Then in place is equals to true, which is another parameter. Okay. That means where empty cell is true, then we have to replace with the median. As you can see in row number 18 and 28, the empty values from the calories was replaced with the median. Okay, and median is here 291.2. Okay, the value of the value in the middle after you have stored all values in ascending order is called the median. Okay, If you are using Pandas library along with the median function, okay, and calculate the calories, features, median mode and mean. If you want to calculate manually, so you can manually check also. If you want to calculate, so you can check also. No issue. Answer will be same here. Now, third one is mode. Third one is mode. Calculate the mode and replace any empty values with it. Okay, what is actually mode? We already discussed the value that appears most frequently in your set. That appears most frequently in your set. Okay, so as we discussed, pandas we used. Okay, df is equals to pd dot read underscore csv. Similarly, we use the read csv function. Okay, similarly, we give the path of your dataset where we store the dataset in your PC. Then we have to calculate the mode, okay, which is stored in the x variable. X is equals to df calories dot mode function we use here. Okay, now we want to fill this mode in your empty cell of calories attribute. Okay, so df calories dot fillna function we use. Similarly, x column in place is equals to true, and we want to print, so we can print. Okay, as we can see, row 18, 28, the empty value from calories was replaced with the mode 300.0. If you want to see manually, so you can see manually. If you want to cross check, okay, so you can see here row number 18 and 28 will be get empty. Okay, then after that applied the mean mode median function, you will get some value in that empty cell. Okay, so these are the method mean mode median. Okay, these are the method to replace the empty cell in your data set. Okay, these are the most popular method mean mode median. Okay, if you want to store it, if empty cell, if you want to use it, so you can use it. Cleaning data of wrong format. If there are some wrong data, so how can we clean it? So data of wrong format, cells with data of wrong format can make it difficult or even impossible to analyze it. Okay, to fix it, you have two options. Remove the rows. First, we have an option. Remove the rows. Convert all cells in the columns into the same format. You have two options. If you want to remove it, so you can remove it simply. Then, if you want to convert all cells in the column into a same format, so you can do it. Okay. For example, if you have a date column in your data set, if you want to say manually, you insert your date of birth, like date of birth. Okay, there is some specific format like day, month, and year. DD, MM, YY. But you fill that date of birth in YYMMDD format. So that is considered as a wrong format. That is considered as a wrong data. So if you want to clean the data, okay, so you have two options. You can remove the line and convert all cells in the column into the same format. Convert into a correct format. In our data frame, we have two cells with the wrong format. We have two cells. If you want to see data cleaning .csv data sets, you have two cells with wrong format. Check out if you want to check out it, so you can check. You will get row number 22 and 26. You will get with wrong format in a date column. Okay, it should be a string that represent a date. Let's try to convert all cells in the date column into the dates. How can we do it? How can we do it? With the help of Pandas library. With the help of some function like to underscore date time method we used. Data has a Pandas library has a function, has a method to correct your date column format into a date column into a dates. Okay, that means wrong format to correct format you can convert with the help of to underscore date time method, which has Pandas has a this function. Okay, so use it and convert to the date. Yes. Similarly, we use this function like for the conversion of the date, convert to the date. We use Pandas library, import Pandas as PD for the data manipulation as we said. df is equals to PD read underscore CSV and give the path of your data set. We just use your data.csv. Okay. If you have some specific path where you store this data set in your PC, so you give the path here. Okay. I just write here data.csv. We use here date column where we want to convert. Okay. We want to perform the function. Which column? Which feature? Date feature. So we use df date is equals to pd dot, we use here the function to underscore date time. Okay, where we want to perform this? Okay, in the date column. df under bracket date. Okay, we apply here and you want to see, so you can use the print function. As you can see from the result, the date in row 26 was fixed, but the empty date in row 22 got an NAT, not a time value. In other words, an empty value, one way to deal with empty value is simply removing the entire row. Okay, simply removing the entire row. If you want to see manually in your data sets, you can see manually in your data set. No issue. Okay, I already discussed about the data set in a previous lecture. Okay, so you can see previous lecture. Okay, data cleaning data set already discussed. Okay, so if you want to convert to the date, you can convert with the help of to underscore date time along with Pandas library. Okay, removing rows, one of the another way to clean that type of data. So we have another option is removing rows. The result, removing row, the result from the converting in this example above gave us a NAT value, which can be handled as a null value. We can remove the row by using the dropna method. Okay, so removing rows, that is another way to remove the entire row using the dropna method. Okay, in our example, you gave us NAT value, that means not a time. Okay, which can handle by as a null value. You can remove it. So in your data frame, we want to apply dropna function. Okay, so df dot dropna function, or you can say dropna method we apply in which attribute? Date attribute. Okay, subset is equals to date, in place is equals to true. Okay, so in that case date will be dropped. Okay, wrong data. What is actually wrong data? We already discussed. Again, we discussed with some example. Wrong data does not have to be empty cell or wrong format. You can say wrong data does not have to be empty cell. Okay, or wrong format. It can just be wrong, like if someone registered 11199 instead of 1.99. That will be a wrong. Okay, someone registered with 199 instead of 1.99, so that will be considered as the wrong data. Okay, sometimes you can spot wrong data by looking at the data set because you have expectation of what it should be. If you take a look at our data set, you can see that in row number 7 the duration is 450, but for all the other rows the duration is between 30 and 60, so that will be too high. Duration is 450, but in other rows duration between 30 to 60, that will be, that happened by mistake, so that will be considered as wrong data. It does not have to be wrong, but taking in consideration that is the data set of someone workout session, we conclude with the fact that this person did not work out in 450 minutes. Maximum it will be, maximum this person will work out in 30 to 60 minutes maximum. But here by mistakenly we put here 450 minutes. Is it possible? No possible. So that will be considered as the wrong data. How can we fix wrong values like the one for duration in row number 7? You can check it manually if you want to check, so you can check it. Okay, if you want to download that data set, so you can just download from the Google. Okay, this is the available on Kaggle UCI. Okay, so replacing values. One way to fix wrong values is to replace them with something else. This is the first way to replace the value. In our example, it is mostly likely a typos error. The value should be 45 instead of 450. And we could just insert 45. Okay, we could just insert 45 in row number 7. Example, how can we insert it? There is the way to insert this value. Okay, to fix this wrong values. Okay, set the duration is equals to 45 in row number 7 in your data set. Duration is the column. You can say features. Import pandas as PD. Pandas library we use here. Again, df is equals to pd dot read underscore csv. Give the path where we store your data set in your PC. We are using the data set data cleaning. Okay, now we want to replace the value. We want to fix the value, okay, with 45 in row number 7. So df dot loc, that means location. Okay, which location? 7th row. Which column? Duration column. Okay, so we write here df, that means data frame dot loc in a bracket 7th row in a duration column is equals to 45. We want to put here 45. Okay, so we want to fix the wrong values with 45. Okay, now we want to print here. If you want to see this updation in your data set, so you can use the print function. Okay, cleaning data of wrong format. For a small data set, you might be able to replace the wrong data one by one, but not for big data set. Obviously, if you have a small size data set, you might be able to replace all wrong data one by one. You can check each cell one by one, identify wrong data, empty cell, okay, wrong format. But if you deal with big size data set, so how can we perform it? How can we check each cell one by one? Not possible because we have huge data, 1 lakh entry, 2 lakh entry, 5 lakh entry. So how can we check it? Okay, so to replace wrong data for larger data set, you can create some rules. For example, set some boundaries for legal values and replace any values that are outside of the boundaries. Okay, there are some rules. Check some legalness, check some outside boundaries. Okay, how can we do it? Let's see with the example. Same data set we use here, data cleaning. Loop through all values in duration column. We we target the duration column in data cleaning data set. Okay, loop through all values in the duration column. If the value is higher than 120, then set it to be 120 because maximum value will be 120. So we fix the boundaries, outside boundaries. You can say if the value is higher than 120 in the column of duration, that will be automatically set to 120. For example, if you enter the 240, okay, but we have the higher value which is already fixed by the function 120. So if you enter 240, 340, 440, so it will be automatically considered as 120. Okay, how we do it? How can we do it? With the help of Pandas library. df is equals to pd dot read csv pd underscore pd dot read underscore csv along with the path of your dataset. Now we use here for loop for x in df dot index. Firstly, we identify the location, okay, in the index in your data frame. Sorry. Okay, for x is the variable where we want to find the index of your data frame. Index of your data frame. Okay, in data frame where we want to search duration column. Okay, so if df dot loc, okay, if df dot location in the bracket x is having index where the duration in which column we want to search in the duration column. Okay, so duration greater than 120. Okay, try to understand this logic. Okay, if df dot loc, that means location where we want to store the location in a x variable. Okay, in which column? Duration column. In which value we want to replace the value. If the value is higher than 120, that will be set it to 120. So we set the clause here greater than 120. Okay, then df dot loc, okay, in that particular location, that is x, in the column duration, that will be is equals to 120. Okay, after that you want to print here, so you can print function use. Okay, so this is the way to fix the value. Okay, Removing rows. Another way to handling wrong data is to remove the rows that contain wrong data. There is no need to replace with some values. Just remove it. Simple method. But this way you do not have to find out what to replace them with. There is a good chance you don't need them to do your analysis. Okay, so for example, delete rows where duration is higher than 120. Higher than 120. For example, if you have a data set where is the 10 instances, for example, and in the 3 instances you have the higher value, higher than value, higher than 120 in the duration column. If you want to delete it, so you can delete it simply using drop method, and after deleting you will get only 7 instances in your data set, so that will be so too less. Okay, so firstly we want to replace the value. Okay, because we have an option. If you don't have any option, so you can delete it, but you have an option, so just use it, another option. Okay, so delete rows, but we are discussing the method how can we delete it, so you can just see it. Delete rows where duration is higher than 120. We use import pandas as PD. Data frame df is equals to pd dot read csv. We give the path of your data set. For x in df.index, we try to find out of the index of your data frame where we want to do some changes. Okay, we want to delete the rows where duration is higher than 120. Okay, so we give the condition if df.loc, we identify location, okay, with the help of x parameter in the column duration where higher than 120, duration higher than 120. Okay, so that will be dropped. So we use drop function df dot drop. We apply the drop function in your df, that means data frame. Okay, x in place is equals to 2, that means we identify the value where duration higher than 120, so you can delete it. After deleting you want to print here, so use the print function here. Okay, remember to include the employees equals to true argument to make the changes in the original data frame object instances of returning a copy. If you want to check it, so you can check it manually. If you want to perform it with the help of pandas library, so you can use it also. We already discussed some of the example of the data cleaning in previous lecture, so you can just use it. You can perform this program, Python program, on Spider, Jupyter, Google Colab. Okay, so we already discussed, we already used the Google Colab, and so many programs we learn execute on the Google Colab. Okay, so we use it. Okay, execute all these programs. Removing duplicates. Duplicating or discovering duplicates. How can we discover? Duplicate rows are the rows that have been registered more than one time. Okay, by taking a look at our test data set, we can assume that row number 11 and 12 are duplicates. Suppose one of the form we received from my department, please enter your all of the academic record, but by mistakenly I insert the data, I fill that form 2 times, 3 times, so that will be considered as duplicate data. Okay, there is no need to create the duplicate data. Okay. To discover duplicates, we can use the duplicated method. How can we identify the duplicates? With the help of duplicated method. Okay. The duplicated method returns a boolean values for each rows. True or false? Okay. So return true for every row that is a duplicate. Otherwise, false. Okay. Return true for every row that is a duplicate. Okay. In your data set, there is some duplicacy. So in that particular row, it will return the value true. Otherwise, false. Okay. How can we do it? Import pandas as PD. Simply create the data frame. So df is equals to pd dot read underscore csv, then gives the path of your data set. Simply print df dot duplicated function we used, where we want to identify the duplicate in your data frame. Which data frame? df. Okay, so we apply here df dot duplicated. Okay, after that you want to print, so you just use the print function. That's it. So example, remove all duplicates. To remove duplicates, use the drop underscore duplicates method. Remove all duplicates. Example, here you can use this similar data set, data cleaning.csv. Import libraries pandas as pd. Create the data set. df is equals to pd dot read underscore csv along with the path of your data set where we store in your machine. Then we apply the drop duplicates. Firstly, we identify the duplicate data. Then we want to drop it. Then we want to delete it. Why we unnecessarily use the duplicate data? There is no need to duplication. Okay, so we just remove the duplicate data using drop method. So we apply the drop duplicates method here in your data frame. So df dot drop underscore duplicates method in place is equals to true. That means we identify the duplicate. That means you can drop it. After deleting that duplicates values entries, you will, if you want to see it, so use the print function. Notice that some rows has been removed from the results. Okay, and that in place is equals to true. That means it will make sure that the method does not return a new data frame, but it will remove all duplicates from the original data frame. Got it? Remember this thing. Okay, this method does not return a new data frame. Okay, but it will remove all duplicates from the original data frame. Mind it. Now, label encoding. In machine learning, we usually deal with dataset. Obviously, we all know without dataset, we cannot deal with the machine learning. If you want to develop any machine learning model, so firstly we need to the dataset. Okay, then we have to go with the machine learning model. We usually deal with the dataset that contain multiple labels in one or more than one columns. Obviously, if you use the dataset, there are some multiple labels. Okay, that may be more than one. Obviously, more than one. Okay, these labels can be in form of words or numbers. These labels you can identify in your data set that may be in a form of words or numbers. Just like uh, serial number, student name, in your if you are using a student data set of any university, so student name and student ID, student PAN card, student Aadhaar card, student father name, student mother names, student mobile number, like this. So these are the labels. These are the column where you want to store the information of your all students. To make the data understandable or human readable form, the training data is often labeled in words. So label encoding refer to converting the labels into the numerical form so as to convert them into the machine readable form. Obviously, machine machine always understand the numerical form. Okay, machine always understand the 0 1 only. So firstly we have to these words labels. Okay, obviously you insert these information as column, and columns represent some labels we create with the help of letter. Okay, but machine understand the machine readable language 0 1 numeric form, you can say. So we try to convert these label into the numeric form, you can say machine readable form. So machine learning algorithms can then decide in a better way how those labels must be operated. It is an important pre-processing steps for a structured data set in supervised learning. For example, suppose we have a column height in some of the data set. Height column having some of the values like tall, medium, and short. Okay, where in this column we have only one label like height, and there are some entries like it may be tall, it may be short, it may be medium. These all of these the word, that means you can say it will be the combination of letters like tall, TALL, combination of letters, that means tall. Tall is a word. Okay, medium, MEDIUM, this is a combination of letter. SHORT, short. Okay, machine cannot read this. After applying label encoding, the height column is converted into look like this, like tall always labeled by 0. Okay, medium always consider as 1, or you can say label by 1, and short always labeled by 2. Okay, for example, if you want to insert the student's data in the column height, for example, one of the student is tall. Okay, for example, Suresh Rana. Okay, height, whenever you want to enter the height of that person who is tall, so you just insert the 0. Whenever we want to enter some of the data, some of the students, one of the student which is having the height medium. Okay, so you just enter the value of 1, and short you can just enter the value of 2. So this is the labeling. This is the label encoding. We apply label encoding on iris dataset on the target column, which is species. We already discussed about the iris dataset, flower dataset, you can say. It contains 3 species. Okay, species is the target column. Iris setosa, iris versicolor, iris virginica. Okay, these are the classes of your flower dataset. You can say iris dataset. So how can we apply the label encoding on that dataset? Firstly, import the libraries where here we import pandas as well as NumPy. Import NumPy as NP, import pandas as PD. After that, import dataset. We use the iris dataset, so just give the path of your iris dataset like this. TF is equals to PD dot read underscore CSV. Under the F drive, you have one of the folder machine learning, then we take IML unit number 2, then iris.csv. This is the path where we store your data set machine. Okay, so df, where we want to work species, that means target column. So df species dot unique, we identify here. Output will be represent because we want to identify. Okay, species unique value. So setosa, versicolor, virginica, you will get. Import label encoder. We want to add, we want to apply here label encoding. So we just import the label encoder with the help of Scikit-Learn. From Scikit-Learn, import preprocessing. Okay, then label encoding. Your label encoder object knows how to understand word labels. Okay, so label encoder is equals to label encoder we already import with the help of Scikit-Learn. So label encoder is equals to preprocessing dot label encoder. Okay, we use it. Okay, that already understand how to manage the word labels. Okay, so encode labels in the column species. So df species is equals to label encoder dot fit transform. We want to fit that label encoder with species. Species is the target column of your data set. Which data set? Data frame. You can say RS data set. Okay, after that we want to represent that species with uniqueness. So df species dot unique function we use here. After this, you will get the value 0, 1, 2. That means Setosa will represent by 0, Versicolor represent by 1, Virginica will represent by 2. So this is the label encoding. Limitation of label encoding. Label encoding converts the data in machine readable form, but it assigns a unique number starting from 0 to each class of data. This may lead to generation of priority issues in the training of data set. A label with a high value may be discovered to have high priority than a label having lower value. Example: an attribute having output classes Mexico, Paris, Dubai. On label encoding, this column lets Mexico is replaced with 0, Paris is replaced with 1, Dubai is replaced with 2. With this, it can be interpreted that Dubai has highest priority than Mexico and Paris. Okay, while training the model, but actually there is no such priority relation between these cities here. Okay, so priority is there. Okay, so this may be lead to generation of priority issues in the training of the data set at the time of label encoding. Okay, because of a label with high value may be considered as have high priority than label having lower value. Okay, here Dubai is replaced with 2, so that's why Dubai has a highest priority. Okay, Mexico represented by the 0, Paris is represented by 1, so that's why. So this is the limitation of level encoding. Okay, thank you.
This statement execute the if the condition to block 2 is end and then block 1 is in. It means a if statement executed after another if statement. That is known as nesting of a nested if else statement. That is create a nesting of if statements. For example, I is 10. If the value of I is equal to 10, first I is equal to 10. If the I is less than 15, I is smaller than 15. If I is less than 12, I is smaller than 12, 2. It means all three statements are executed because of I is equal to 10, I is less than 15, and I is once you check the first condition, then check second condition, and then check third condition, and all three statements are executed because of all three statements are true. Once a condition is false, then you can not execute the inner statements. Here, the concept of inner and outer statement. Inner statement, a statement which is present inside of any if statement. Suppose the second one I is greater less than 15 is present inside the if I is less equal to 10. If any value provided to I is not equal to the 10, this condition is not true, and your execution pointer never enter into this. Then never check the I is less than 15 or whatever I is less than 12. For example, we will demonstrate it in a Google Colab. Suppose, for example, right here I equal to 10. I write the same code, whatever I explain you in the example. I equal to 10 if I equal to double equal to is check for which equality. If the I value is equal to 10, then print I is equal to 10. And if I is less than 15, print I is smaller than 15. If I is less than 12, I is less than 12, then print I is smaller than 12 2, and just execute this code. You can see all three statements are executed because of once you check if I is equal to 10. Yes, if the first condition is true, the statement will be execute and then check the next condition. If I is less than 15, then if condition true, then execute, then check the next condition, and it's nesting. One question arise here, sir, up to which level we can nesting? Suppose, for example, this is 1, 2, 3 level. You can take any number of levels like 10, 20, 15. It means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to infinite. You can take you can use nesting of if. Suppose, for example, the value of I is 11. For example, the first condition is false because of the value of I is not equal to 10. What do you think? This condition is checked. This condition is will be checked or not? Anyone? If the first condition is false, then the second condition will be checked, the third condition will be checked or not? No, because of if the condition first condition, remember the if statement, if the given condition is true, then only the execution is enter into this block. If the condition is false, then directly move out. You can say there is no output. There is no output because of only one condition. You can write here, no problem. Print right here all conditions. The I is not equal to 10, and the first condition is false. So the execution is not enter into a block. You can see I is not equal to 10. the value of I is not equal to 10 and the first condition is false. So the execution is not enter into the if block. Once the execution is not enter, then how the execution pointer check if is I is less than the value of I is less than 15. The value of I is less than 12, but it is not checked because of first level. You are maybe you are eligible for are capable to crack the second level, but first you have to create you have to crack the first level. If you are not attempt or if you are not crack the first level, then you're not eligible for enter or you are not eligible for appear in the second level. It is not matter whether you are crack or not, but you are not eligible for that. Same here, if the first condition is false, then never the execution pointer is enter into a if block. Getting my point? Clear now? Okay.